Now, granted, is that going to get you out if an influencer goes out there and says stuff that one isn't truthful, is false about the product?
I see that, and I send you a cease and desist takedown notice, and you don't take it down.
Then
that's on the influencer.
That's going to be at the influencer, because at that point, I mean, if you're talking to regulators, it's like, we're trying to actively get this down. Like, you can't just like send a letter and be like,
but
hey.
break your links. Your links. You're my lawyer, and you got to give me 3-4 steps that I need to take every time I hire an influencer. What is it?
Number one, make sure that...
Did you know most influencer marketing is not legal? Brands are paying influencers without proper disclosures, and the FTC is coming after them. I'm Emma Rainville, your co-host with Ryan Poteet of Gordon Reese, and we have created a spinoff of Special Ops podcast called Marketing on Trial. We've come together to help you implement true compliance into your direct response online or e-commerce brand. Our topic today is influencer marketing and how to be compliant. If you stay to the end of the show, we're gonna have a checklist for you free of charge called the Influencer Compliance Checklist. So stay tuned for that. Ryan, the state of influencer marketing in 2025. I actually, when we were going through, we don't really plan these out, but we were picking topics. And so when we were picking our topics, I said, this one's probably gonna be the most boring and the fastest. And you were like, this is the most important. Why?
No, well, I think one of the biggest reasons is the FTC's trade regulation rule on consumer reviews, endorsements, and testimonials. Immediate access to civil penalties, so that just ups the ante for compliance. But it's really easy to comply with. It's just people do it incorrectly all the time and just assume that they can rely on the platforms or, hope that their influencers are going to go out there and do exactly what the brand has told them to do.
Also, I think most brands that engage most influencers, they're contacting each other and they have no idea that there is compliance. I believe that. So Can I give you a couple examples?
Sure.
We'll do 3 quick examples. Hotel contacts Ryan, who has 120 followers because he loves fishing and he posts videos of him fishing, and he's not even really monetizing any of it. But the hotel is on like this fly fishing lake. Is it a lake? I don't know. This place where people like to fish. And they contact you and say, hey, come, stay for free, eat for free, drink for free, fish for free. Do you pay to fish? I don't know. Fish for free. And just post about our place so that the people who watch your show will want to come fish here.
Yeah, that's going to be a testimonial or endorsement. The person is receiving.
That they need to disclose.
That they need to disclose.
How do they disclose it?
A couple different ways. You could do it in the body of the endorsement or the testimonial. Be like, hey, this is Joe from Fish USA or whatever it is. This is Joe. We're on the lake and so-and-so. They flew me out here to show me this great place. Like, you're embedding this in a more organic way, saying, hey, like,
they brought me here.
Yeah, I'm receiving. So there's a relationship with the brand and that I'm being incentivized in some way. And so that should put the consumer on notice. Hey, by the way, you might want to be careful. I mean, I'm getting something, and so this might have influenced what I'm saying.
Okay.
But hopefully it's going to reflect their experience.
Okay. Donut shop gets approached by influencer who does lots of taste tests of local food. Mm-hmm. Austin, Texas, where I live, tons and tons and tons of local food. We have a donut shop here that I won't say the name, but we have a donut shop here that has the most incredibly strange donuts you've ever seen, but they're allegedly delicious. And so she contacts them and says, hey, I'll make a TikTok of me tasting your donut and telling everybody how amazing it is, and that if you're visiting Austin, Texas, they should come to Austin because I have Austin Eats TikTok. Yeah, sure, come on and get a free donut. Can I get in trouble from the FTC for that?
No, the second you start incentivizing them to post something about you, yes.
Even though they approached me?
Even if they approached you.
I just gave them a free donut.
Doesn't matter.
Third one, last one. I'm a large brand and I sell $500 million. And I approach a large celebrity and I pay them $100,000 to post using my brand 4 times. And they say, ooh, I love that I partnered with so-and-so. My skin is so much clearer now. Mm-hmm. Compliant? She's partnering.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to run into an issue there because I think for 2 reasons. 1, really well-known celebrity.
Okay.
And then 2, when you hire a really big celebrity,
okay,
insert famous person's name.
Sure.
And then they're like, look at my brand of vodka or skin cream or whatever it is. most of the time, and there's a counter argument to that where the FTC addresses this in some guidance, that a reasonable person would see this as like, well, you don't have like an A-list celebrity sitting up there talking about some product that they just love out of the kindness of their heart. They're being compensated for it, which is why when you turn on the television, right, when you see George Clooney talking about an alcohol brand or the Kardashians about something else, no reasonable person is going to think that they were doing that just because they wanted to.
I don't know that I agree with you.
Why?
George Clooney, he looks like an alcoholic to me. Seems fair. Just seems fair. Maybe he's not. I don't know. Definitely looks like he pushes some back. But let's take the Kardashians. There is no aspect of the Kardashians' life that isn't lived out on TV. From divorces to births to lies to big mistakes to sisters' fights to hair dye to lip injections to botched surgeries to mental illness, cheating. Like, they live everything. They wake up in the morning, they get in their glam chairs, you watch them get all of their stuff. They talk about the things that they love. Their salads that they like. Are they partnering with lemons? Like, you could certainly just take it and think that it's just part of their everyday.
No, very true. And that's why the FTC has come out and said, yes, using a celebrity is like one of these factors.
But saying partner is enough.
Partner is not enough.
Okay.
To make a material connection disclosure, there's really two portions.
Okay.
You need to put the consumer on notice that there's a relationship between you and the brand.
So we're partners.
We're partners. But then whether or not the person providing that endorsement or testimonial is actually being incentivized. So it's free.
Can you believe I get paid to use this skincare product?
I think you're going to be fine with that.
Okay. What if I just put #ad?
#ad should be fine.
Okay, because I was about to do some.
But it depends on where it's appeering. So if you're on Instagram, is it below the fold? And so is it #ad at the very end of a lengthy discussion about the product, buried amongst
80 hashtags? That's what I was going to say.
No, it needs to be at the top. And the FTC says that
it needs to be the first hashtag.
Yeah, it needs to be the first hashtag, not only the first hashtag. The FTC would say that it actually needs to be above the text. So you can get into these debates with regulators over where it should be, but the FTC is going to say the material connection disclosure needs to be unavoidable. So you couldn't possibly miss this, that the consumer would read this and understand, okay, well, this person's receiving something, or it's an advertisement or a promotion for some sort of brand.
From an operational standpoint, to not kill conversions, I would choose my way, where the person is disclosing in a way that's letting their audience who loves them know that they love the product while still disclosing it. Like, can you believe I got to partner with them and I get paid to actually do this, or I get paid to use this product? Or can you believe that I get this product for free just for posting it on here? Like, I would spend money on this every day. You know what I mean? As you're looking at yourself. So I would certainly do it that way from an operational standpoint.
Well, yeah, and so many of the platforms now having the built-in paid partnership, things like that. Now, the FTC has come out and said you can't just rely on that. But even their kind of discussion about
you can't rely on it because it might not show up every time.
It might not show up every time, or it's not prominent enough.
But if it shows up, is it enough?
Ryan's saying, I think it is fine. Especially in the meta platforms, I think it is very clear when you're using the paid partnership. I mean, it's right at the very top. I mean, you can't.
It either says sponsored or paid partnership,
you can't actually get to what they're saying without missing that. I mean, I guess if don't have your glasses on, but I think that's pretty low risk.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about risk. I'm the brand. You're the influencer. We go into partnership. The disclosures, the FTC doesn't feel like the disclosures were enough. They go after you or me.
Both could be liable, but practically it's going to be the brand every time.
Okay. Even if our contract says that you're responsible.
Yes. I mean, the contract is great to have because you're going to say, the contract will say.
I tried to, in good faith, do what I'm supposed to do, and this influencer's off the frickin' rails.
Give them the material connection disclosure. And every single post that you put on social media about our brand, this is what you must say. Now, granted, is that going to get you out if an influencer goes out there and says stuff that, one, isn't truthful, is false about the product?
Okay, I see that, and I send you a cease and desist takedown notice, and you don't take it down.
Then
that's on the influencer.
That's going to be at the influencer, because at that point, I mean, if you're talking to regulators, it's like, we're trying to actively get this down. Like, you can't just send a letter and be like,
but hey, break your links that they're using if you do that. Okay. I don't want to get too hung up on that. Thank you. That's really good information. So if you're a brand and you hire me as an influencer, actually, I'm not going to do that. You're my lawyer, and you got to give me 3-4 steps that I need to take every time I hire an influencer. What is it?
Number one, make sure that the influencer actually uses the product. So there have been instances where you have these influencers that just come to you and they're like, hey, can I just promote your brand? Can I promote your brand? Like, they just want either free product or money. They don't really care how great the product is. They just want to be something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So, I mean, some of that goes to authenticity.
I didn't know they had to use your brand.
Oh, they have to use the product.
At least once, right?
Well, like if they're saying,
It's a product review.
well, product reviews are a little bit different. Well,
Then product endorsements. I understand. We got two different, so we have two buckets. We have two buckets. Product review, product endorsement. If you're going to do a product endorsement, make sure that they're continuously using your product.
yes. So if the endorsement is like, I love this guy, I love this skin cream, this is why I use it every day. Like, look, I don't have any wrinkles. Like, this is what I use on a daily basis. If that's not true, then that whole endorsement or testimonials is
A lie.
Yeah, exactly.
It's false, not false advertising, deceptive advertising.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, the first thing is make sure that they're actually going to use your product
Mm-hmm.
and look at what they're kind of going to be saying about your product. Number two would be if you are incentivizing them in any way, they need to include a material connection disclosure. And that goes back to the contract we were just talking about. You can draft out the material connection disclosures that they need to present in every single one of their ads.
Whether it's, can you believe I get paid for this, or do you believe they send this to me for free just because
Exactly.
I share it with you? I'm so lucky. Yeah.
Exactly. And then I guess the third point is you might not, at certain size, you might not be able to review every single one of these testimonials or endorsements that gets placed, but you need to have some sort of audit or tracking process on the back end of all of this. So whether it's the influencer emails, an inbox somewhere that has a link to all of the ads, that at least someone at some period of some interval is going on and, either doing keyword searches or something to figure out like what these people are saying. I mean, there's an obligation on the business to police what the what the influencers are saying on their behalf. So those are the three main things that I would recommend.
Awesome. Before we wrap up, any final thoughts on influencer marketing and what's coming?
No, I mean, I think it's a great way to build brand engagement. It is the most authentic way to do it. And,
Brand reputation is important. And
I think we might disagree or come to, we would politely disagree on whether or not some of these disclosures affect conversion. But I think at the end of the day,
we've actually avoided that in this podcast somehow. I think that putting hashtag ad and saying nothing, I think that will absolutely, I trust you to share with me what you're using as an influencer that I follow.
Yeah.
I don't follow influencers, but I'm talking about the mindset of people who sit and watch other people's stuff constantly. We know what I watch, and it's not stuff like this, like murder mystery stuff. But I think that when you bury it, and I know you're not burying it, if it's the very top it says hashtag ad, I think it would have very low conversion. I think you'd have a much higher conversion just by being extremely upfront. I am beyond blessed that this is my life and this is my job and I get paid to share this with you all. Or can you believe that they send this stuff to me for free just because of you? Thank you guys for coming in and watching and buying the products that I recommend. Because of you, I get to do this, right? So I think that would be way higher converting than these written disclosures above the fold that you're talking about. I just think that people just aren't going to connect with it in the same way they connect with, oh my goodness, Ryan went to this hotel and they gave him this free thing so that he could go and he told me what to eat and he told me what to drink and he told me where to fish. And he was like, make sure you thank them for sending me out here so I could share this with all of you. There's an authenticity that if I'm a follower, they're cult-like, right?
totally.
So if they're a follower, they're going to follow you when you lead them. When you try and have these disclosures that don't make sense to them, I just feel like they're looking at it as they're not even discussing it with me. They're just getting paid and they don't really feel this way. Does that make sense?
It does.
That's what I think. I don't know. I could be wrong. Probably not though. So as we wrap up, thank you so much, Ryan, for doing this with me. For those of you that don't know, Ryan and I have created a spinoff of my podcast, Special Ops Podcast, called Marketing on Trial, because we've had so much fun. He's had so much fun with me. I've had a lot of fun not paying him to ask him a bunch of questions, a lot of money, but he's a really good attorney. So I'm super fortunate and beyond blessed to be doing this with you. So thank you. If you want to get notifications every time we post a new episode, go ahead and like and subscribe so that you can do so. Additionally, we have co-written a influencer compliance checklist, which is in our visionary vault at www.specialopspodcast.com. You can check out all the tools and courses in there. We've co-written a few things, and we'll have all the stuff about influencer compliance and what to look for in your own business. Thank you, Ryan.
Thanks, Emma.